I would like to ask the Reverend Elder Troy Perry and the group sitting here to come on and stand next to me. You know? And Philip Ray DeBleek. Where's Philip Ray DeBleek? Right there, his partner. Right over here. You guys stand right there as I start, and the other guys come on close. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, this is a very historic moment for the gay community. 40 years ago, the Reverend created and developed the Metropolitan Community Church. Troy Perry has devoted his life to helping others discover the loving and caring God to whom he has committed his life. As founder of the predominantly gay Metropolitan Community Churches, he has watched the membership grow from the first 12 members in 1968 to over 43,000 during the past 40 years, and has guided MCC's growth into one of the world's largest gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender organizations. MCC was the first church to recognize the need to minister to the needs of gays, lesbians, bisexual, and transgender people throughout the world. Reverend Perry was the first openly gay person to serve on the Los Angeles County Commission on Human Relations. He holds an honorary degrees and other degrees from the Episcopal Divinity School in Boston, the Samaritan College in Los Angeles, and the Sierra University in Santa Monica, and was honored by the Gay Press Association with its Humanitarian Award. Reverend Perry was invited to the White House in 1977 by the administration of President Jimmy Carter to discuss gay and lesbian civil rights, and was appointed by the U.S. President Bill Clinton as the official delegate to the White House Conference on Hate Crimes and the White House Conference on AIDS. Reverend Perry has truly been an international leader in the quest for marriage equality for gays and lesbians. In 1969, he performed the first public same-sex wedding in the United States. And in 1970, he filed the first ever lawsuit seeking legal recognition for same-gender marriages. For 39 years, Reverend Perry, and is actually now 40, has fought for the right of same-gender couples to marry. And he organized and led demonstrations for marriage equality at the last 3 marches on Washington for the LGBT rights. On July 16, 2003, the Reverend Perry and his husband, Philip Ray DeBleek, right here, who at the time were together for 18 years, were legally married under Canadian law in Toronto, Canada. 6 months after that ceremony, they and 2 long-term friends of theirs, Robin Tyler and Diane Olson, became the first couples to sue for the right of the same-gender couples to marry in the state of California and to have Canadian same-sex marriages legally recognized in California. You've heard me say that Robin Tyler and Diane Olson are our Rosa Parks, who has said they're not going to be in the back of the bus anymore when it comes to our basic civil and human rights. On May 15, 2008, the California Supreme Court ruled in their favor, deciding that it was unconstitutional to deny same-gender couples the right to marry. You know, folks, we got Measure 8 on the ballot. You've got to vote no on that. In 2005, the Reverend Perry retired as the moderator of the Metropolitan Community Churches. In his retirement, he maintains an active speaking schedule, lecturing on the history of gay rights and movements, HIV issues, and marriage equality. And I was saying to the Reverend Perry before we got up here that in the mid-'80s through the mid-'90s, when hundreds of thousands of our brothers died of AIDS, there were many churches that rejected us, and his church became a healing spiritual experience for us as we suffered our loved ones. And the gay people know that it comes from nature. It isn't a choice, and it isn't a preference, it's nature. And we also know that God created nature, and we also know that God makes no mistakes. So for the gay community, this has been our first leader that has given us the respect in God's name for who we are and our orientation in nature. It is a great honor for me to ask Troy Perry to say a few words. And Reverend, this is signed by the mayor, the city attorney, and all my colleagues around the horseshoe.
And just before that, Mr. Rosendahl, we've got a number of colleagues that would like to add their good wishes as well. Mr. Reyes, and then Ms. Hahn, and then Mr. Huizar.
Thank you, Council President. I want to thank our colleague Bill Rosendahl for presenting to us such a significant person in these historic times. Reverend Perry, to establish the Metropolitan Community Church and to be able to share with this society the power of love and what love means for us as communities truly is a reflection of the kind of power we can have together in changing the quality of life, not only for adults but for children. I have many friends who are essentially raising children who are married, same gender, and the kids are beautiful, they're happy, they're going to great schools, they're well clothed. What's wrong with that? And so I thank you for allowing that opportunity. I thank you for opening up some eyes, and hopefully those who have a hard time understanding can look at the eyes of children and the eyes of couples and say, thank you, because all you're doing is sharing your love. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman.
Ms. Hahn.
Thank you. I also wanted to thank our colleague Bill Rosendahl for allowing us to all honor Reverend Perry still this morning. Almost. And as Ed said, truly, you know, this is such a special time in I think, all of our collective histories. And I do believe that long-held feelings are beginning to turn. And we do realize the value of every single human being. And I was just listening to your story and listening to all that you've done. And certainly, you are a man of courage, of real courage. It takes courage to, you know, speak where others have been silent. It takes courage to reach out to people who others have discarded and disrespected. And for you to have started this Metropolitan Community Church at a time when it was not popular or was not embraced really speaks to your calling and your courage. And we know that God is love, and we know that what you represent is unconditional love. And oh, if that message could not be taught 100-fold in our communities and in our nation, what a great place we would be. So congratulations. We're very honored to honor you.
Mr. Huizar.